Okay, let's hope I have bandwidth today. This is Suzanne Titkemeyer, formerly of No Longer Quivering, now just of Suzanne Titkemeyer. Um, I hope it does better than last night. Last night I made a very quick video where I had to just say, ha ha, Nelson Muntz style from The Simpsons over the latest, which I've been laughing about for days. The Katy Joy lawsuit. Katy Joy is being sued by Tati Westbrook, and for things she's been saying all the way back to Patheos about Tate. I don't know how you pronounce her name because I don't do the makeup blogs. That's just not my thing. Um, she said a lot of ugly things about her husband, Mrs. Westbrook's husband. Nasty, nasty, hey, nasty things. Drug a lot of things up from the past. Good morning, everybody. And she's been beating that drum about the Westbrooks for quite some time. So what I was hoping would happen finally did happen. Somebody sued her, somebody who has something substantive to say, something that she's going to have a real hard time weaseling out of. But here's the part I want to concentrate on. Let me read you what she had to, what said the lawsuit about Patheos, because it's exactly what I've been talking about for ages, all the way back to May when she screwed me over and stood me up. I've been saying this about Patheos, explaining again and again how Patheos works. Okay, on page 3, upon information and belief, Defendant Paulson identifies herself and holds herself out to the public as a journalist. Well, upon information and belief, defendants claim that Patheos.com was Defendant Paulson's former employer. Upon information and belief, Defendant Paulson was never an employee of Patheos.com, and Patheos.com cut whatever ties it had with Paulson, in part due to improper conduct, including her propensity to maliciously publish false and misleading information about third parties in her postings. Well, you can't get much more out there than that. Hey, everybody that hasn't seen me live before, yeah, about that. Everything that Tati said there is, well, the lawsuit says is real. That is really how Patheos works. Katy Joy, myself, as of today, I'm not working for Patheos anymore. The way they work is when you go to work for Patheos, when you write for them, when you become a daily columnist or a weekly columnist, and they do encourage us to call ourselves columnists, not so much journalists. She grabbed the journalism thing instead of saying that she was a columnist or an opinion piece writer, anything of that sort that would make sense. Katy Joy grabbed journalists, which we all know she's not. She doesn't source a damn thing. She just goes with rumors. So anyway, Katy Joy and Patheos. When you go to work for Patheos as a writer, as a creator, as a moderator, whatever, on the creative side, the thing that you do is you're a 1099 contractor. You're not an employee. So she's been screeching for ages that she was an employee. No, she's a 1099 contractor like a lot of us were, like I used to be. And you sign a contract with Patheos. The contract holds you to certain things. It holds Patheos to certain things. If you or they violate, the contract is null and void. The contract also allows you to give them notice and leave, which is what I did. I was not kicked off. Katy Joy, I saw the emails. She kept forwarding them to me, some of them. And there was a lot of contention when she left. She did not leave in a, how am I going to term this? She did not leave in a respectful and good manner. She didn't leave in such a way that she could say, hey, can you give me a recommendation? She left like everything in her life is a circle of chaos. Everything you see about Katy Joy online, she's chaotic. She fights with everybody. This is what she does. And she also lies. No moral compass, no moral compass. So she lies about all this stuff. She was a 1099 contract writer for Patheos, not an employee. She got into trouble due to some of her behaviors, including complaining to everybody about how nobody was appreciating her and saying what a wonderful writer, what a great addition she was to Patheos. She did none of that. I mean, she did all of that, and she just pissed off enough people. If you piss off enough people, you're enough of a problem. They start getting enough lawsuit threats. Guess what? You are gone. And that's pretty much what happened with her. Like I said, Katy Joy can say what she wants. I've seen some of the emails. I know what went down. That's why I started talking about it back in May after she stood me up, and then I found that she had been stealing and misusing my content for ages. Really classy. So now this thing with the Westbrooks and her, it really has a lot of potential to go crazy. They're asking for $5 million. Here's the thing. You can't get blood from a turnip, so I don't know where they're expecting to get these $5 million. While I was still talking to Katy, Katy was telling me she was making between $10,000 and $25,000 every single month on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know because I'm totally innocent of that. This is not why I have a YouTube channel. I'm not trying to make money. I don't need money. We're comfortable. We're comfortable on our investments. I don't really need that. But so she was telling me between 10 and 25,000 a month, and I was pretty shocked that it would be that much. I would never have expected that. So this 5 million mark, I'm just kind of blown away by it because I know the Paulsons don't have that kind of money. I would literally force them into bankruptcy if they tried to collect on that, which I'm kind of sorry about. I'm kind of not sorry about, because live by the machete, die by the freaking machete. If you are running around saying crap about everybody, fake crap, somebody is going to sue. That's just the reality of it. And if they can prove that you've been saying a bunch of fake crap about them, guess what? They can sue you. They can garnish your wages. They can garnish whatever YouTube is making from you, the whole 9 yards. They can possibly even run you off YouTube. And I know because I've faced my own stupid cease and desists and lawsuits through the years, and know how this goes. Sometimes you're able to just say, okay, that's retarded, and walk away. And then there are times when you're going to be forced to take some things down. It happens. And that's one reason why it pays when you're writing, when you're doing YouTube, whatever, to source everything you're doing. If it's a rumor, say it's a rumor. Do not say, I know for a fact this has happened, because it's going to come back and bite you on the ass. And when it does bite you on the ass, it could have serious financial repercussions. And since she's the one that the dumpster fire of fake information, you're absolutely correct. When it does bite you, it's going to be pretty serious financially. And let's face it, in this age of Donald Trump, it has emboldened dumbasses to come after other people for all kinds of stupid reasons that don't make any kind of sense whatsoever. So it's better to just not indulge in the fake stuff. I was said in my blog yesterday, my personal blog, I have heard so many things through the years that I have never published, never even alluded to on No Longer Quivering, because I couldn't source them, including things about the Duggars. Katy just jumps and grabs every stupid little thing she can and publishes as fact without making any kind of attempt to quantify or justify it. And we are getting to see the delicious schadenfreude of that behavior. I cannot tell you how happy I am that somebody is finally suing her. This has got to stop. I mean, there needs to be more journalistic integrity, even among video bloggers and people who blog online for money, write daily columns. There needs to be some accountability. You just can't run around and say that Jim Bob is causing his daughters to be gang raped. You can't say that stuff. Maybe if you had proof of it, you could say those things. But look at the Steven Anderson thing with the sexual abuse of the teenagers going on. I did talk about it on NOQ, and I talked about it here. But I had over 500 pages of chat. I had people whose children had been affected by this talking to me. I had details and sources. And as it was, I only exposed a tiny bit of it. That is what you have to do. So I'm hoping against hope, this might, if it doesn't drive her off YouTube, perhaps it will cause Katy Joy to be a lot more careful about what she says online. Yeah, you won't. I got to read. I respect you. Yeah, I know. And I said afterwards, this is wrong. I shouldn't use that. I'm an old lady. I pick up some bad habits. At least I don't say the N word routinely. I'd say the R word every now and then, and it's wrong. And I admit that. I apologize that I did that. And all I can say is when I say that word, I'm thinking about a retardation in music. I'm not thinking about a human being. So perhaps I ought to change my language to that if you're upset with that. Yeah, it used to be acceptable, but it's not. So my lesson learned, I'm not going to use that word anymore. And it's difficult because that's one that I'm always saying. But now I'll say dumb as a box of rocks. How about that? That'll be better. Everybody slips and makes mistakes. And that's the thing with Katy Joy. If you slip and you make a mistake every now and then, that I can see. But when it is a continual pattern of problematic behavior and problematic words, becomes a little bit of a different story. That's the problem I have with her. Her words impact and hurt real life people. Everything she said about Sophie Long in the Long case is just wrong. You can't expose the deeds on sexual abuse of children. You just cannot. You can't name them. It should be off limits. You shouldn't be discussing the medical information of people online who you don't have a signed HIPAA form from, saying that you can do that. There's just so many lines crossed. I mean, there's reasons for these rules and some of these laws and these lawsuits. And I'm enjoying the Schadenfreude. That's all I can say. Yeah, I agree. It's not acceptable. Okay, it's not acceptable, and I am going to go because I've already been on here way longer than usual because I actually have internet in Costa Rica for a change. I'll see you guys later. I'm not going to just post about Katy Joy. I'm going to post about other things. I've stopped NLQ, and that was the smartest thing in the world for me because I have to finish my book. I'm bumping up against the contract, and I'm bumping up against the other one too. So I've got to get some things done here. You guys have a great day. And again, I'm sorry if I've said things to offend people. It's just kind of how it is. And somebody posted something earlier in one of my lives that said something about Westbrook's trolls being here. Whatever.